jumping right back in because this. He said, "Is there unconditional love, and should it or should it not be?" This is interesting. This is where I feel like I'm gonna give you two answers because you know how I do. I'm gonna say yes
And no.
and no.
Jesus.
Go ahead. Yep.
Because yes, you should have unconditional love because of my Christian values and biblical understanding of forgiveness
Yep.
and yada 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 yada. Okay.
Yep.
I ain't even gonna get on you today, bro.
Look, don't get on me.
I ain't saying a
I
word
already
today.
know. I already know. I already know.
I'm a changed man. I'm
I
turning a new leaf.
already know. I already
Turning a
know.
new leaf. Listening.
And,
I'm
and
sure.
just like Alan say, if it's good for one, it's good for the other. Now the rules are always the same, and all that yada yada yada. All right. So that's why I said yes. Now, in the real world, in the world without these so-called unconditions, no, there should be some condition of the marriage. Is that always are the conditions the same for both parties in most marriages? The answer is no.
The
It
answer is
should
no.
be the same. No, the answer is no because the conditions for one are not the same conditions as the other.
Right.
Because for a lot of men, if the man not doing X, Y, Z, 30 million things and then plus four and then understand me too and the kids, then she'll leave if he not doing all that. But for the man, the rules are severely different. The conditions are different. I'm
So
it,
Alan, after hearing that, your origin, I'm pretty sure it's gonna say the same, but you said that it should be unconditional.
No, I
no,
didn't
he
say
said
that.
no. He
No,
said it should
I
have
said everything.
conditions.
To me, everything
Yeah,
got conditions.
yeah. He said it should
Love,
have a condition.
friendships,
Oh, I'm sorry.
everything got conditions.
I
Yeah,
misheard
no,
you.
no,
I'm
no.
sorry.
I don't believe in
My bad.
unconditional nothing.
I didn't
Ain't
mean
no
to put
unconditional
words in your
nothing.
mouth,
You
sir.
you can't you can't hurt me and think it don't come with conditions. Like everything come with conditions for me. So
Got it.
so nah, ain't no unconditional. The only thing unconditional is you gonna be in the dirt one day. That's it. Everything else got conditions.
Oh my
Cause my
god.
name
Okay,
ain't.
okay,
Cause the
okay.
second time Lazarus died, they buried him.
Is everything condition is are the conditions the same for both parties in the marriage? There you go.
Well,
No.
no, I don't think so. I think, but again, you got to have that conversation. And I think the problem that we have is a great number of people do not know how to communicate, or they communicate with aggression as opposed to both people really trying to find a common ground. One person is the aggressor, and my thing is, so if everybody just learn how to communicate, but I see this on TV. That's why it's so hard for me to watch most TV shows, because as soon as people not communicating, I just get upset, because I'm like, well, if y'all would stop lying to each other and stop having secrets from each other, then maybe this you wouldn't be getting shot at right now because you didn't know
That's
your husband was a
another
drug dealer.
thing.
So anyway, obviously I had some aggression on that one, but because that's the thing that bothers me the most. The thing that bothers me the most, and listen, I'm not even going to pretend that I am perfect with communication. I just think that I have the person, I
You
found
can
the person
communicate with.
who that I can communicate with,
Yep.
because they are not going, and because I'm not and never really have been like an ultra uh hyper aggressive person, right? So I'm never going to speak out of character. I don't speak in any time I have, because I remember a time when we were in Iraq, and I was upset about something totally unrelated, and then Green said something to me, and I just went off. He had nothing to do with why I was upset, but for whatever reason, he felt the wrath of me being upset about something else. But the difference between what most men would do towards other men and what I would do is I went to him and sincerely apologized. I said, listen, I don't, and it has never happened again where I spoke to somebody out of anger instead of maintaining my composure, because I feel like I need to be better. If I'm not better tomorrow than I am today, then what am I doing?
Just the other day, Was that was me. That's all I want to say. I'm always lashing. Well, I don't want to say lashing out, but sometimes when I talk, uh, my imbalance causes me to get louder than usual. So I'm not. I'm guilty of that still to this day.
Yeah,
But
bro.
it's gotten better though. I don't do it all the time, and I think I had a breakthrough in regards of understanding how to not get to that level. But that's on a different topic. That's a different topic. Anyway, moving on. Getting back to the topic at hand, bro. Conditions.
There's always conditions. The thing is, you got to know what those conditions are.
You
But if you're
gotta
not
know what the
communicating,
conditions are.
you do. You got to know what the conditions are. But if you're not communicating, you're not going to know what the conditions are. And if you're not having civil communication, you're not going to know what the conditions are. If you're
That's
not, because that's the problem. People get in their feelings, and then now the communication just breaks down.
yeah.
Mm.
And I get it. Everybody got feelings. Everybody can't. People think I'm stoic, and it really isn't that I'm stoic. The problem is I know what my temper is, and so I've worked on it for 40 years.
He's
Like
You know,
I used to like beat up inanimate objects because they bumped into me. Now, how can a cabinet bump into you?
hey man. Sometimes it happens, bro. What can I tell you?
I know it just jumped out there and ran into you, but I would
It's
I would slam cabinet doors, all kinds of stuff. Like, hey, get out the way, that
so
kind
what
of
you're
stuff.
saying is so what you're saying is your shoulder's always been big. All
Shoulders
right.
always been big, dumb
All right.
big, wider than
Don't
all
be
outdoors. But so I know that, which also comes back to being aware of who you are. Like, you got to be aware of who you are and work to be better. Because
that's
even
true.
so, as a matter of fact, I was listening to a story about how Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were different. In that Michael Jordan had this ultra competitive nature, right? But he could never turn it off. Like, he was ultra competitive about everything. If y'all were eating, he wanted to beat you eating. If y'all was driving somewhere, he wanted to beat you there.
Who is
If you were
this?
playing Michael Jordan,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just ultra competitive and can't turn it off. But then you got Kobe, who was only ultra competitive on the basketball court. Like, so he could flip that switch on and off. But then you got people like Michael Jordan that people idolize, who, you know, essentially until he got turned like 50 was a jerk to everybody
Yeah, about to
because of
say nobody.
his competitive nature.
Yeah, I've heard
But in
stories
that
about.
arena, it was okay. Wasn't okay in his marriage.
Damn,
Wasn't okay for his kids.
double homicide.
Oh my
But
god, I'm out of here.
but
Get
it was okay
it's,
on the basketball. But that's the thing. So a lot of times the same aggression that might make you great in one arena
Doesn't make you
is it doesn't
necessarily
it,
great.
it's
no,
a
because
problem over here, and you got to
no,
be
the
able to
rules are not the
flip that
same.
switch back and forth.
No, that rule's not the same for your marriage.
It shouldn't
And
be, but I've seen it. I have
that's
seen
crazy.
I
That's
have
crazy.
seen people go in on their spouse just to try to not show favoritism to other people that were around.
Yeah, no, that's foolish too. But again, people handle their marriage how they want to.
They
Is a marriage
sure
worth
do.
staying? Is it worth staying? Yeah, what? Who
Is
put that in there?
it, is it
Who
worth
asked that?
staying?
Who
That
who,
was
who
Zoe,
said
I
that?
think. It wasn't me. I ain't
No,
put no notes on this.
it wasn't me at all, sir. It was oh Lord, sir.
No, it won't. Is it worth staying?
I'm trying to tell you, it's you.
It won't
Is
me.
it worse than? No. Oh Lord made edits, but let
No,
me check
no,
my colors
no.
history.
That's
Originally Calvin made those notes,
Oh,
oh
and
okay,
then he
all right.
changed his name to oh Lord. Don't do me like that, man.
no, two different.
Two different people. All right, well go be Calvin.
Two different people.
Go get Calvin.
Oh, we'll wait.
Okay, I
staying for
see.
the
I
kids.
had
Okay,
to turn on. I had to turn on
I had
all
the
my
highlights.
highlights. I
Yeah, I did
only had
too.
half of them on.
I did too.
Yeah, you can see.
So,
I ain't got not a note on this one. Not nay.
so is
Well, no,
marriage
hold up,
worth staying?
Something ain't. Oh, I see. +1. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Is
I
marriage
see.
worth staying?
That's a question you got to ask yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's each individual's.
it definitely is. Now, when I was looking, I was trying to find the divorce statistics. I went all the way back to 1966, but I ain't got time on the podcast to go to comb through that data because it was like dot matrix printer that somebody scanned. I'm like, oh, I really ain't got time for this. I need a bar graph, bro. But one of the things that they said was that it actually going into 2019 that the divorce rate is actually going down. But the other thing that was increasing is fewer and fewer people are actually getting married in the first place.
Hey, I tell you what, I know somebody who said they only want to get married, they just want the ring. Just don't want nothing. They don't want
They
no
don't want
because they've
nothing. They
been
just want the
they
ring.
I get she's been with the gentleman for a while and you know they've been together. So she was like, "Yo, at this point, I don't even want to get married. I just want the ring."
What's so buy a ring?
That's what I'm saying. That's all you got to
That's
do.
what I'm
It's
saying.
Just
easy.
Buy
buy
a
a
ring.
ring.
Go ahead.
Buy a
That's
ring.
it. That's easy.
But see,
That's
and
easy.
but again, and this goes back to communication and knowing your partner. Because I mean, one of the things, even in terms of rings, because sometimes there's this thing in our society that I don't know, the ring got to cost $50 million or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to people say it's like got to be X% of your income or whatever, and I'm like, that's dumb.
Who came
But
up with that? And
I'm white people, I'm sure.
that goes back to the
I'm sure it
consumption
went back to
culture.
kid. Yeah, it does go back to consumption culture. But you know,
I might keep
but I knew that my partner that wasn't what she wanted. She didn't want something gaudy just so she could show it off. She wanted what she wanted as a
Right.
ring. And some people would be like, "Oh, now I did go a little extra, not a lot extra, because she didn't ask for the wrap. So her
You know
ring
what?
has a
You
ring
know
and a
what?
wrap, and she
Cue the
ain't asked for
music.
the wrap.
Cue the music, man.
It's only 11
Go.
minutes in. We can't
He
be.
said,
Oh,
"Cue the
your music.
music."
Hold on, hold
He
on.
said,
I
Cue
got. Hang on. Let
the
me find
"Oh
it.
my
music,
Let me find
man.
it.
god."
Hang on. Let me
Cue
find
the
it. Let me find it. Here you
music
go.
out here,
I'm,
man.
I'm,
Welcome to Twine Time. It's your boy Twine. So this is dedicated to. I just want to take a moment for those who have them baby carrots out there. All right, they judging you because you got baby carrots on your hand. All right, it's okay. You don't gotta have the biggest carrots out here to be out just to look good for somebody else. Enjoy your baby carrots. That's all I got. Shout out to the
This
baby
was
carrots out there.
Twine Time, brought to you by Mr. Zoe.
You in debt for the rest of your life because you trying to buy the biggest. Man, get out of here, bro. I mean, if you can
Hey, but
afford it,
people be on.
if you
But
can
you know what?
afford it, cool. But I'm just saying, for those who don't have the means and they living outside the means, trying to look good for somebody else is ridiculous to me. Anyway, let's
But
move on.
I think the only reason people want those things is because they saw it somewhere else. They saw somebody else's ring, or they saw it on TV, and they're like, "Oh, that's such a beautiful
On
ring."
one of their on a
One of their
reality TV
reality shows.
show
I would
that
rather
ain't
have a
real.
Yeah,
happy. I would have rather have a happy marriage, a happy and long marriage, than a fancy,
I get that.
expensive ring.
But look, that's just like the wedding, the wedding itself. I mean, people are paying 50, 60, $100,000 for the wedding day, and then afterwards. But again, that goes back to communication.
What's
If you know that that's what your partner wants, and you have decided to give that to them, um, then you either got to give that if you know that's what they want, or they're not getting married. Then you got two choices: stay and give them that, or leave.
mm,
But because of the pink cocaine, people don't leave.
mm. He said because of the pink cocaine.
That's what Zoe called it. They stay because they like I might not find
It's
any
better than juice
tacos like
box.
this somewhere else.
Mm-mm. Look, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing this. What the leading cause of bad marriage?
People,
Bad communication
He said people.
and
Bad
people.
communication.
yeah, I mean it's I mean because I mean to me it's just it is what he said, bad communication, because if you communicate it prior to and you have communication during, then because I think it's unmet expectations because of the lack of communication.
Yeah.
Unmet expectation. I say unmet expectation. I don't think it's a lack of
How about how
communication because I
about
think
how
people
about
tell you what they want and they don't get it. So that's where the unmet expectation
but
comes
see
in.
that goes back
I
to
don't
communication because if you tell that person what your expectations are, then they would have a heads up, and vice versa. So
Right.
how?
All
No,
right. All right.
If you're listening anyway, if you're listening.
No. Because if you tell somebody this is what I want, they can write it, communicate it, get it across to you, and you don't give it to them, then
you didn't communicate it.
no,
All
you
right.
did communicate it. You did communicate it, but the expectation wasn't met.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now
That's
the
different.
problem is a lot of people are misinterpreting the communication because I really believe in most marriages the people are communicating. They are telling them what they want in some form or fashion. It's matter of fact, it was sad but true. People can tell what a dog wants better than what they can tell a human want. You know why? Because they don't want to give it to them. It ain't got nothing to do with the communication. It's you don't want to give them what they're asking for. That's all it is. To me, that's all it is. And most marriages that end in divorce, most bad marriages, it's because you don't want to give the other person what they're asking for. You know what a dog wants. You know how to feed the dog. You know how to walk the dog. You know how to make the dog happy and everything else. But you can't do that for a human that can tell you. You see their attitude changing. You can't figure out why that changed. But you know them. You've been with them. You live with them. But come on, man, y'all. No, it's because you don't want to give it to them. End of discussion.
You're right. I don't.
You don't. That's right. Because you don't want. Because they say, "Hey, I want this. Could you
But
not
see,
do that?
okay, all
Could
right,
you not
okay.
do that?" And guess what we do?
So then it
I want
comes,
to do it
then it gets
anyway.
to a back and then it goes into a back and forth battle because
Right.
um if someone is asking for something in a
Right.
relationship,
Right.
but it's one sided. Okay, all right, bet. So if it is that case where one person is not answering the call, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
what I guess that goes back to communication and knowing who you with because most relationships or some relationships are one sided. So if one does not comply, then what as far as giving
So,
someone what they want, then I'm listening.
and that's what happens most of the time. Most of the time, you have two people, right? One person's giving. The other person taking, and the other person doesn't flip it at some point in time, and it depletes this person. And that's
Right.
when you give the big breakups and divorces because one person has finally become depleted and the other person still
Or
trying to take it.
or well, they some people become depleted and don't don't run, don't leave. So they just become
No,
depleted
no, no,
and
no,
they
no,
don't
no, no,
have
no, no, no.
no,
Nobody's exempt.
no.
Nobody's exempt. Nobody, nobody's exempt. The rules don't change. Once that person's depleted, they will go. They haven't been depleted. The problem is they haven't been depleted.
Okay.
This scenario is happening. One person's giving, one person's taking. And eventually, if it doesn't switch to a degree to where the other person can get enough,
Hmm.
then you will see that. I don't care who you are. Everybody the same.
I agree.
And you can take that for any scenario you want. Because until that happens, and then that's where, like you said, you take a scenario, that's when other people start looking for other sources to get what they need. That's the difference. Because once that start happening, okay, then
And then
you're
that
not getting
becomes a
that.
problem. But
Now,
I
now it's
tell
a
you this.
now it's a problem.
I
But
I tell
like
you
I said,
this.
it,
Before you do that, go ahead and sign the paperwork. Before it gets to
go
that
ahead,
point.
go ahead and sign the paperwork. Right.
Because me
But at the
personally,
same time,
I'm not
you
going to be stupid out here. But at the same time, if that's what you want to do, fine. However that come, you need to
right,
go
but
ahead
you
and
can't
make.
blame the communication because the person has probably said, done, or shown you, and you don't want to do. So that's
That's
on
fine.
you.
That you right. It is on me, sir. It is on me.
Nobody's exempt, man. I feel like that's universal. I feel like that's in all marriage. That's the leading causes of bad marriage is because somebody doesn't want to reciprocate or don't want to give what the other person's asking for. So that's what starts breaking down the relationship, and it just builds. It just consistently. Hey, I asked you to stop doing this. You still doing it? Oh, could you do this? Oh, it's me. Maybe it's me. I might see it too plainly.
Mm,
Who wants to let me know when I find out? When you find out?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Here is the here is the only problem sometimes though.
We're listening.
Nobody believes they're the person that's taken.
Okay.
Everybody believes they're the person that's giving.
That's sad. Now
Because
that's a sad scenario.
they do. I mean, because that's at least I think that is the case. I'm not gonna. I can't speak definitively, but I think that is the case because people think that they're doing all they can in the relationship, even though they might not be really doing much of anything. They're like, well, I'm doing all I can.
All I can, but that's it. They're doing all they can. Are they doing what they were asked to do? That's the difference. And if that's all you can do, if that's all you can, then the expectation is not being met. So then you create the problem. Because I'm asking, I'm telling you, or whatever else, this is the bar. This is what I need. You're not getting what I'm needing. So,
But you know what? Even if you tell some people what the issue is,
right?
If they don't see the problem, then it's not a problem.
All right, and this is how.
But that's universal. That's a universal problem.
And that's what makes
what
makes the bad marriage. I had to break down. I had to use this one. I use this one without going into too many details. I could just use it with me and my wife. And I said, okay, I need water. Me, Calvin here, I have to drink water. My car needs gas, no matter what. The car needs gas. If I pour water in the gas tank, what happens?
Problems.
You're gonna buy a new engine. Listen.
Right. But the car needs gas. So I need to give the car what it's asking for so for it to run properly. If I say I need water or something else to run properly, that's what I need. Give me what I need so I can run properly. It's that simple. It's that simple. So,
but like you said earlier, the problem is people don't want to give. So
it ain't a matter what you want. It ain't a matter what you want to give, because if you don't give the car gas, the car won't run. So you don't want the car to run then if you don't want to get gas. So that's how I take that. And more than likely to understand, if you don't give the car gas, it ain't gonna run right. So don't get mad when the car not running.
I have no rebuttal.
He said, I ain't got nothing for that. I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got nothing.
There's only one other problem, Calvin.
What's that? Tell me what the problem is. Tell me what the problem is. Tell me what the problem
is. Everyone is right in their own mind.
Hey, put one in that gas tank and see what happens.
Hey, and look, but that's the problem. What if they don't know the difference between gas and water?
And we gonna give a class. Ask them, is your car running right?
Are you? Hold on. No. What did you just say, Alan?
We speaking in not euphemisms, but metaphors. So they might not know the difference between gas and water. So if you're not telling them this is what gas is, and this is what I need, this is what water is, this is what I need. But guess what? That's a two-way street because they gotta give you that same information.
Exactly, and that's the point. Because then
y'all both gotta be willing. Either somebody's gonna acquiesce to one person or vice versa.
Right, but once the person knows, and here it goes. Once you know that car needs this gas, because whatever else, and you decide not to put what is recommended into that gas tank, don't expect that car to run right. Don't expect your marriage to run right if you're not giving the marriage the recommended needs. And that's based on your partner. Like you said, you got to talk or you got to communicate or you should have something kind of say, okay, this is what I need, XYZ. This is recommended. You don't meet the recommended requirement, it will malfunction. It will malfunction.
And listen,
It
for
will.
the listeners out there, I know that y'all probably think that Calvin is only talking about the pink cocaine because that's what Calvin talks about.
No,
Is
All
tacos
the
and
time.
cocaine all the time.
I'm talking about
But we
everything.
talking about everything.
Everything.
Don't,
Everything.
they're not tacos.
It's just
They're not-
the way that you say it.
It's everything.
It sounds
It's
like
root-
pink cocaine.
It
Just
don't
the
matter
way
what
that you
it-
talk about
Look,
it.
it don't matter what it is. You can take the same principle and apply
I
it
get
to every area. Because if my expectation isn't being met in finances and emotions or anything else, then guess what? You're gonna get it from somewhere else, or it's gonna malfunction. You can sit there and mess with it and wait for it to start showing the signs, but guess what? It's gonna happen. Nobody exempt.
Nobody's exempt.
Nobody exempt. I'll wait.
Prove me wrong.
Prove
Prove me
me
wrong.
wrong.
I'll wait.
Let's argue about it. Let's fuss about it. Let's find out.
Mm.
We need some women up here. We need to get the women on the show one time.
Well, not this early in the morning, we ain't. But
Oh, we're gonna do a
at
late
least
night
not
special.
at least not mine.
A late special, yeah. After 5 special.
But now that we're using this platform, we could have 20, 30, 40 people up here. if we
Right.
really
That's
wanted
not-
to.
Right. So
Nope.
we should do it. That.
Nope.
We need to do
Nope.
that.
The only
Nope.
problem is once we get that many people, we probably need an extra
Nope.
person in here to mute and unmute people.
And hey, that's what we got to do. That's what we work towards.
Because you know somebody got to have the talking stick. Everybody can't talk at the same time. You know?
We're gonna work towards that for 2020. Y'all hit us up, send a shout out. All right, cue the music. I think we had enough.
Now.
Uncommunicated expectations.
What
I
about
hope we're working on them. Communicate and meet the expectation. Unless you're gonna have a malfunction.
Well, unless you don't want to be married. I mean, hey, if you don't want to be married no more, then do whatever you're gonna do, bro.
Hey, do what you're gonna do.
You know what I'm saying? Do what you're gonna do.
It's your marriage. Make it look the way you want it to look.
Sure do. Hey, if y'all want to be busting each other in the head 3-4 times a week, because y'all like black eyes and bullet
You don't
holes,
feel loved unless you get choked out.
I
I only like black
eyes.
eyes when
Listen,
at the beginning of the year.
Y'all foolish.
in Texas,
Y'all foolish.
in Texas, there's women out there that if you don't have a truck, ain't gonna date you.
That is true.
Like you
But
gotta
that's
have a truck.
conditional. But that's one of the conditions. You gotta have.
Yeah.
You gotta got.
But you
you
know
gotta
that
have
coming
conditions
in.
out here in these streets.
So I guess it ain't gonna be me, and I'm okay with that. I'm just fine because more than likely, if you won't date somebody because they ain't got a truck, you probably also got some other beliefs that I don't conspire to.
Well, he'll say I don't subscribe to that.
I don't subscribe to some of that. I know.
I don't buy
Your-
your brand,
your,
coach.
your grandpappy probably in the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh God, I'm back. I'm gone. Y'all have a good one. Y'all
Y'all have a good one.
have a
See
good
y'all
one.
next week.